Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? Today is March the 23rd. It's about 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on a Friday, and we're going to talk about how boring the market is right now. So the market cap has literally moved $0 billion in the past few hours. That's right, $0 billion. Last time we looked at it, it was at $332 billion, and now we're also at $332 billion still. So I always like to keep an update, and sometimes updates, guys, not everything is going to be full of amazing news and uptrends, right? So we got to make sure that we acknowledge these things. Sorry, I'm just moving some of my page over here. Alrighty. So if we notice right here, the market cap, it's literally at a standstill right now. We look at the 24-hour trending volume, and we've gained a little bit. We've gained a tiny bit. Like I'll give it that. Okay, like we actually ended up uptrending from 5.4 billion to about 5.7 billion, but other than that, guys, it's a fairly sideways movement for the past few hours, so we have to make sure we understand what's going on. So let's clear out some of our indicators, and let's just simply look at the daily and how that's forming. The daily is about to form in about 1 hour. What we get right here is a shooting star candle. We have to understand the market psychology behind the shooting star candle. This shooting star candle, the bulls attempted to push it up, but they simply got rejected, pushing it back down. Now this candle right here, as soon as the previous one was formed, it signaled to the market to take some profit, and this bearish spinning top ended up signaling a little bit more of a downtrend from 86.50 all the way down to 82.50. So there were some profits to be made in a short during today's span, but not really much, guys. I mean, we're hunting for the big plays, right? We're looking for the big plays, and if we call this our first subwave one up, subwave 1 up, this could be our subwave 2 depending on how we look at it. So looking on the 12-hour chart, what we're seeing is some support candle, right? We're getting a series of support candles on the way down with wicks rejecting. So every time the bears do attempt to push it to the downside, what we see is the bulls are pushing it back up. So I believe that the market sentiment right now is still fairly bullish. It's just a matter of waiting, guys, waiting for a breakout to happen. And we're going to talk about some key prices that will indicate where a breakout could possibly happen. Volume has been very steady thus far as well. We're slowly downtrending on the histogram, but it doesn't mean we're even close to the negative side at all. We look here on the 6-hour chart, and what we see is simply it could possibly downtrend like that, right? We might see it just tick very, very slowly on the downside and simply just go back upwards. So we're seeing it over time. It's definitely bullishly diverging, and I want to make note of the daily chart as well. Okay, how do we gauge bullish momentum over time? When we first hit this mark right there at February, okay, February, what we say is that are we gaining strength from where our low is right now? And we say yes, we're actually gaining strength in the market to the previous low. But what we see very simply as well is we're reaching some critical RSI resistances, right? We can take it however we want to, you know, from a very high point. Like, are we getting strength in the market? We're getting strength in terms of on the downside, but you know what? It's very much so confining. If we notice right here, I always treat RSI as resistances and supports as well. Looking at the 6-hour chart right here, not much movement. Oh, we went over that already. So we look here, right? It looks like it wants to eventually tick back up here. When the 4-hour chart does end up ticking back to the positive side, it's going to be pretty good, guys. I mean, we just would like perhaps a little downtrend here and then tick back up like that. This would actually imply that we're finding some steady level of RSI support, and it starts to bullishly diverge. On the 1-hour chart right here, what we're seeing is a hammer. The hammer candle is very strong. It's super powerful, guys. What we saw in that downtrend in that channel was it reached around the 82.71 range, and it just bounced back up, right? So we rejected about $400, actually $250, my mistake there. But the bad news about that is when we combine it with other things such as candlestick, or sorry, with exponential moving average, what we're seeing is that it's rejecting it right here, right? So it's rejecting it to the upside. Now imagine this moving average as a resistance. So the bulls attempt to push it upwards like that, but they can't successfully close above it. always think of the moving averages as some form of support and resistance. So now we rejected it. We rejected it once again. There was a small sell-off. Now we're attempting right now to break above it, guys. And that is a very significant thing to make note of all the time. So what we would like to have is a crossover. Now this is actually setting up for a very decent bull rally in my opinion, right? What usually ends up happening is we try to cross above it and then we fail and then we simply cross back down towards it. Now what we're looking for is a formation kind of like this, all right? This is a crossover strategy where we look at the 55 moving average just as an example here. So with the 55 moving average, we would like it to support everything below it. And then of course the 100 moving average supports it all as well. If you guys are unfamiliar with this moving average strategy, I'm not going to explain it every single video like I usually do, okay? The best thing for you guys to do if you want to understand these strategies is to go to my Steemit. While you guys are there, you can also support me by creating an account on Steemit. You can also upvote it as well. It doesn't cost you guys anything whatsoever, and that's how I keep the majority of my content for free. Well, not the majority, all of my content for free. So I would recommend looking at lesson number 12 and lesson number, where is it, 12, and I'm trying to look for it right here, 12 and 16. That talks about the moving average strategy. But just to talk about it very quickly, the bigger number is always supporting it on the bottom. So then what you want to do is we would like to get at least the 50 supporting below all of it. So if we actually close successfully above the moving average, we'll say about $8,700. We close above this 55 moving average with a wick rejecting on the downside. That would actually set us up, just as an example, okay? I'm just hyperbolically embellishing this candle. Now let's say this EMA extended like that. What we would like is a break above it right there and perhaps a wick rejecting to the downside. Now what this implies very heavily is that the bears have attempted to push it down, but the bulls have attempted to push it up. Just to give you guys an example of the opposite right here, okay? The opposite, for example, is right here, where we tried to break up to the upside, but the bears actually rejected them, pushing it back down. We tried to go up to the upside, but the bears rejected them again. And then this candle right here, the bulls tried to push it up, but the bears rejected them again. So after the third attempt, what ended up happening was the bulls finally gave up, and the bears simply took over. So just to give you guys another example of an uptrend from right here, okay? So if you're looking at an uptrend, if you notice right here, we cross above it, we break below, right? And then we're coming back up here, and then we bounce, guys. We bounce off of the EMA several times, bounce, bounce, bounce. And as soon as we start trending above these higher EMAs, a break above this candle right here, for example, it signaled a rally in the market and people entered a long position, right? And then right here, it was really nice. You would have went from 8,700 to something like 11,000, like really high. And then what you would do is you would close your position once it's reaching near a peak perhaps, or even using some of these EMAs as crossovers to confirm a downtrend. So what we would like is for this to successfully close above the 55 EMA and perhaps get a series of bounces off of it before we get a major bounce. Now, of course, it would be amazing if we can get back up to the 9,100 ranges. So as much as I do in my technical analysis, they're not geared towards giving you guys buy and sell signals. They're geared towards trying to educate people and trying to show them how to think, right? That's maybe one of the reasons why my popular is getting more, getting bigger. And I really appreciate all the love and the support. My goal is to teach you guys how to successfully trade. You have seen a lot of my trades that I've made through my live videos, and you guys know some of the profits that I bring in a day, and it's not bragging. A lot of people get really, really crazy when I yeah, I'm gonna say the word crazy because they get so jealous or something. It's like something triggers in them when I start to post my live trades or when I start to post my profit on Twitter. Everybody just thinks that I'm bragging. Well, we have to understand that it's not really bragging, guys. It's more so showing proof in the pudding. I would like to release live videos and live trades of mine and show profit because you want to see proof in the pudding. You don't want just buy and sell signals, okay guys? That's like the last thing that you would ever want. So what we're seeing right now is a really nice bull run if we look, you know, on a very micro time frame. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful right now. Everything is looking so fantastic. We just ended up shooting up right here. Awesome stuff. Yeah, this is looking really awesome, right? Where the bulls just attempted to break past a specific resistance, but we actually got shot down pretty hard, guys, okay? So right now, the goal is not to actually entirely start our uptrend. We have to understand that it is very, very slow, the pace, and we want to set ourselves up for a very nice bullish run by having these moving averages cross over. So right now, guys, it might not be the best time to enter, right? A really good time to enter, honestly, I don't know when it will be, but I'm just gonna set up some scenarios for you guys, okay? I'm gonna set up some scenarios for you and what to look for. So look for, first of all, a crossover, right, where we rejected to the downside, okay? Wait for this candle to form, pretty much. I don't know when it'll be, but I need to set up this formula for success for you guys. And then once the candle forms, the next candles that bounces off of it, like we could get a bunch of candles, we can get a bunch of candles, right? But the goal is to have, for example, in a high time frame, like a 4 hour, where the 55 is below all of them like that, and it's trending upwards like that, okay? And then what you would want to do is look for a relevant candle. If this one was the previous high, right, the next one that breaks above it, that's where you would like to enter a trade. So we have to adopt these types of strategies. So please remember that I'm here to help you guys become a better trader, right? A lot of people don't really like it. Not a lot, but a small minority, I should say, of people don't like it when I post these live trades of mine because they think that I'm bragging, right? Yes, guys, it's true. I make a few $1,000s a day trading, right? I will gladly say that. Whether you call that not humble or not, whether you call that bragging, whether you call that being arrogant or obnoxious or whatever, I don't really care because I know where my goals are. My goal is to ultimately teach people how to become a better trader. And I've had a lot of success in the market and I genuinely want to help people succeed. And I know that it doesn't get to me, guys, that people say that at all. Trust me, it does not get to me at all, okay? Now, I know there's a lot of people who appreciate the material that I'm putting out because they're just absorbing it like a sponge. It's like being an athlete who's watching, you know, their recap of their game, for example, on video that they just played, or watching another team play. It's just studying, and more material, right? But the people who are actually like hateful towards some of the videos that I release when it comes to live trading and call that bragging, I think they're more so the people that are just looking for calls, right? They're looking for when to buy, when to sell, etc., etc. So those are not the people that I know that I know will not be successful when it comes to trading. The people who are watching the material of mine, that's all free, where I don't ask for a penny, where this takes a lot of my time to do. Please understand that, okay? It's not me pumping a market or anything like that at all. And a lot of you guys have to also understand that when you progress to a higher level of trading, there's a lot of strategy involved. There's even people who will, you know, put me down for saying things like on Twitter where I'm putting up leveraged walls. Well, we have to understand what a leveraged wall is, right? I mean, you guys need to understand some of these basic features on Bitfinex if you guys don't know already. I mean, we got these ones here. It's called a hidden wall, okay? I'm going to show you guys what a hidden wall is. For example, if I put 5,000 EOS right here, okay? I will put a hidden wall here, say at 8.5, okay? At 8.5 right there, I'm going to go to my margin account and I will put a hidden wall in there. Just watch, okay? I now have a hidden wall that's $35,000, okay, guys? And guess what? It's at, do you see this? 6.85? See this right here? It's called hidden. But do you guys see it in the order book at 6.85? No, you don't, right? You don't see it at 6.85. Now let me show you the difference between hidden and non-hidden. If I take out a hidden check mark there and I put at 6.85, now you see it in the order book, right? Because sometimes people have bigger position sizes, they will definitely would like to put in a hidden order. And now hidden order, what is the benefit of it? Okay, let's say I put this at 6.85. It's because sometimes the orders are really big and you do not want to scare the market. Because if they see something that's $35,000 with really not that much volume of $81 million, well, 35K is kind of a big position size that can, you know, kind of scare the market sometimes. Or when I put in my 10,000 EOS coins, right? Nobody wants to bypass the 10,000 wall. people will think that, wow, there's a lot of people selling it, so I don't really want to go into a long position, right? So we have to understand that if we have big enough orders, it's all about strategy, okay? And sometimes, guys, when you don't want your order to fill, right? When you don't want, let's say you're trying to drive up the market or something like that, okay? If I'm trying to drive up the market, just to give you guys an example, what I can simply do with a leveraged wall is something like this. Just watch. I will put this in 775 like this, okay? At 775 right here. And what I will simply do is this. Instead of making it hidden, I will actually show it right on here. Now they see I'm a big player here, right? They see, whoa, this guy's got 5,000. It actually might support. So because I put this here and the market sees it, it actually just very well might end up pushing the market upwards because people believe that we will actually want to buy. So you have to see it from many different perspectives. It's not just a matter, I'm going to take it out before it fills there. It's not just a matter of manipulating the market. These are high-level strategies that we employ using leveraging in the market, right? And there's also lots of other options like post only as well. So there's a lot of articles about me or people saying things like I'm manipulating the market. But no, guys, it's just amateurs saying that, to be honest, okay? You guys got to understand that this is the fiercest competition in the world, right? And the money doesn't come from thin air. This moving is not just a bunch of random movements up and down. This moving right here is a market, is people behind the computer or computer is buying, right? This market is moved by people, not by something random. And until we actually understand that fact, and until we understand the fact that these markets, guys, there's only a finite amount of money in it. Where do you think your money comes from when you guys profit? It comes from some person who lost. Every time you lose, where do you think your money goes? It goes towards some person who profited, right? So we have to understand that it's a very fierce competition and the brightest people in the world trade. And because there's a lot of intelligent people, it's creating free competition in the market. So we have to understand that there's a lot of strategy involved as well. And yes, there is fair play and there are ethical boundaries that we should not cross. And I assure you with 100% certainty that I do not cross any ethical boundaries at all. I only employ strategies that are existing already on exchanges. If there's an option to leverage, I will 100% leverage or create walls to artificially show supply and demand, right? So regardless of what anyone says, you know, you got to differentiate yourselves from the people who think that I drive up a market. I don't, guys. I don't keep a lot of money in my margin account, okay? I will be very honest with you guys with how much money I keep in my margin account. Right here, okay, guys? I allow myself to play up to $40,000. That is it. Once again, I only keep up to $40,000 in my margin account, which is a very, very, very small amount compared to people who have millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, okay? So don't think that I am some whale in the market. I'm just a guy who's taking advantage of a lot of the features that are available on Bitfinex, just as an example, okay? I keep no more than $12,000 in my margin account. Everything else is entirely in fiat or in my funding where I gain a small interest per day. So that's it. I just wanted to be very clear about some things as well. So the people who are saying that I'm manipulating a market, I hate to say it, but you guys are just amateurs, okay? The only way you can manipulate a market is if you're creating FUD that's running through mainstream media. That's my personal opinion. Or news in fundamentals that's affecting the market. But in terms of actual trading with technical analysis and using strategy, well, guys, there's so many strategies that we can employ. So I just wanted to clear up the air a little bit with the people that think that I'm manipulating any market. I really don't, guys. I really don't. Like, honestly, if I wanted to, right, I could probably pump a market very easily. But no, my ethics are very strong, okay, guys? I come from a family with strong morals and values. And most importantly, I consider myself a very ethical person. If I wasn't, I would actually be trying to do something that would take advantage of you guys to get your money. But because I don't even do that for one moment, what I actually do instead is I try to help out the general public, right? I don't offer any paid content. I don't ask you guys to pay for anything. Everything that I do is literally out of the goodness of my heart because I want to help you guys succeed, all right? And sure, you guys are welcome to donate if you want to the cryptocurrency piggy bank. But if you guys ever do, I don't ask you guys for it, or I don't force it rather. I just say if you guys want to buy me a lunch or a coffee, you're welcome to, but please don't ever donate anything like some people have before, like in the hundreds of dollars, right? You guys send me $10 for a lunch, $20 for a lunch, and I am so freaking happy, and it makes my day, believe it or not, guys. Sometimes every few days, believe it or not, I actually get a donation from people. It's like $20, right? And it makes me so happy because I feel appreciated. But other than that, I'm not trying to do anything to get your guys' money. I got no paid content at all. So, you know, you got to understand where my ethics lies as well, right? And also what kind of person I am. And my moral compass, guys, it's very, very strong, put it that way, okay? I believe in the greater good of humanity, and I definitely want to see the greater good of humanity and see them succeed, because I've been there before where it was pulling teeth learning how to trade. So what I need to do is show you guys how to trade as well. So anyways, I just want to cover up a few different things. If you guys notice from my videos, I do talk a lot about different things outside of just specifically technical analysis. To be a good trader, you cannot just be a good chartist or a good analyst, whatever you call it. You need to be very well-rounded mentally, psychologically, and philosophically as well. You got to make sure you understand all aspects of trading, and especially the ethics game as well. You don't want to be one of those people, guys, where people are questioning you, right, and what you're doing. Now, I know that there's some FUD that's created towards me, but you guys see me for who I am and what I am doing, and the proof in the actual pudding. So if you guys ever hear something about me, let my actions disprove it right here in front of you guys. And my actions speak loudly, which is I only do technical analysis on very high market cap coins. Whatever you guys have heard about me of pumping a market, I assure you 100% with certainty that that is not me, and those are just haters, okay? They are just people who are trying to smear my image and reputation. And I think the people that have followed some of my technical analysis, you guys know that sometimes I'm wrong, sometimes I'm right. I'm not here to give you guys calls. I'm here to teach you guys how to play the market and how to become a successful trader. So please, if you think that my channel is here to give you calls for buying and selling, nah, guys, you guys are going to get ripped apart by the other people in the market who are actually here to learn. The people who are here to learn in my channel, you guys are going to become such good traders one day. I mean it. You guys are going to become such good traders. You won't even know like how good you're going to become if you put in this hard work over time. A year from now, you guys are going to look back on this. My channel for YouTube and Twitter, it'll probably be much bigger than it is now, obviously. And we're gonna have a meeting, guys. In a year from now, I want to see so many successful people. I want to see many successful thousandaires, 10,000aires, 100,000aires, millionaires. And we're going to have a massive party somewhere, okay? We're going to get together, we're going to have food, we're going to have drinks, whatever, the whole shenanigans. And we're just going to talk about some of the successes and stories that you guys have been through. So I'm so excited to see where people are going to progress to a year from now. And I cannot wait to hear about all the success stories that started because of me, right? That's the ultimate reward in life, to know that you have literally changed someone's life. And I cannot wait to meet all these thousands of people a year from now. So let's just keep talking about what's going on, guys. We're going to talk about what we're looking for, right? We're looking for this candle to close, honestly, okay? Wait for it to close in probably 30 hours or so, or 30 minutes or so, and then we will actually be considered above it, okay? Now the next candle, people will most likely be happy. There might be some slow sell-off, but if there's not, right? Let's say this candle finished right here. The next candle, right? If it actually closes above it or gets to a much higher high, absolutely, we will have entered this right here. But what we can officially say right now, guys, is we have broken out of this channel, okay? We have had this channel right here that we have now officially broken out of. And I think a lot of people entered a trade right around here, around 8,600 already. Hence the amount of volume there is, or not volume, but hence the price action, right? So if we actually draw our channel to something like this, what we see is, well, this would be considered kind of a bear trapped region, and we're constantly seeing it bounce off, bounce off, bounce off. So around the support channel right here, people definitely took a risk right here, right? They entered it right there. It didn't quite break out, but they would not have been stopped out. Nope. they wouldn't have been stopped out. So why even exit the trade? Let's say they entered at 83.50 where I was expecting support to hold. You would have simply put your stop loss somewhere right around here, okay? Around these regions below here. I probably would have looked for the most relevant region, probably around this candle perhaps, right? I would have set my stop loss a little bit lower than it, around 8,200. And the first thing I would have done is targeted, first of all, 8,600. Get a pretty good risk to reward of 1 to 1, don't you? Or sorry, 1.46 to 1. And of course, we would expect it to break out, right? So you would ladder some of your profits very slowly, go for the next swing high structure right over here at a 4.86% gain. So what I am looking for, my criteria to enter, is I would like this candle to close in 27 minutes. I would like to see the 100 moving average pretty much below all of these right over here. I would like to eventually enter when the 55 and the 100 moving average is simply below all of them right over here, okay? And I would like to clearly enter above here, okay? I want it to break out with a lot of volume above 87.71, and I will be playing Bitcoin right around these regions. Excuse me there, I kind of burped. I'm sorry, that was embarrassing. I had a lot of Pepsi this evening. So we can see right here, this is a little bit of a cluster region, right? Right around these regions here. But I think if we break around 87.50, 8800, we're basically just going to end up uptrending towards the next swing high structure. Always target, guys, right? Here's a major resistance right there. Got to remember that 9,050 is a major resistance. Now, this is very difficult to count, guys. Very difficult to count here. But if we actually had to count this in some way, right, this would most likely be an A, and that's a B, and that's a C down over here, and maybe in a three-wave structure, right? So if we actually had to call this Elliott wave, or do an Elliott wave count, it would most likely be something like that, in my opinion, okay? This would most likely be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's say we ended up making this right here like that, okay? Something like that. Perhaps we can end up calling like, you know, this perhaps a wedge that's leading upwards like that, and it simply just broke down to the downside. This would probably be a very rational way to draw it. It really does suck based on Elliott wave, but yes, we can see this as a rising wedge, I suppose, okay? Maybe this right here is wave 1, all right? Maybe that's wave 2, maybe that's wave 3, maybe that's wave 4, and a really crappy 5th wave we can say in there, okay? That would fit the definition of an Elliott wave. So what we see right here is that it has retraced a fairly decent amount, right? It retraced to around this region right here where wave 2 territory is, which happens very frequently in an ending or leading first wave diagonal, okay? So right there. So now that we actually have a leading first wave diagonal, what we're looking for a third wave structure, right? So the next logical target, if that was the bottom, assuming that a breakout happens above, you know, 87, like 87.50, 87.80, 100-ish, right? Well, the way that you guys should have bought it was breaking out of the channel. Remember? I was talking about breaking out of the channel for a while now. So if you guys take your Fibonacci extension tool, right, we assume that the third wave is often the longest and it's never the shortest. Well, you know, let's just say right here that it's a lot larger. Well, the next wave could theoretically hit up to $10,000 still, right? So now we're left to wonder, is this going to be a three-wave structure perhaps? Okay, is this just some sort of ABC going upwards like that to get a three-wave structure, right? So either way, my long-term target, it still actually stands at $10,000. So this is where I see right now, guys, as my first wave. That's where I see my second wave, and the long-term projection is still about $10,000. I think that a key break above, for example, right here, 87.21, which I will just write in for you, right? Actually, I think we're broken already, so let's just go check this out in more detail right here. Perhaps 87.71, right? Where is this? 87.72 could easily signal a rally to 91.77. Is that it? 91.77. So a break above 8,177 can signal a rally to $9,177, right? That's my opinion right here. Sorry, I didn't mean to write that. I meant to write 8,772, right? 8,772. I'm having a little bit of trouble writing here. Can signal a rally to 9,171, right? So this would be a fairly decent position to enter, in my opinion, right? And now we're finding some pretty hard support around these regions, guys. Like this is now a very, very hard support region, but I really don't think that we're gonna end up breaking it like with a lot of conviction right now, right? I think we're more likely to end up hitting this perhaps right around there, and then we're gonna end up correcting just for the first small subwave, right? We're gonna correct for probably the first small subwave, maybe downtrend a little bit, and then we end up going up to the 10,000 mark. So I believe right here that we might hit it. You know what? Let's just round this up. A break above 87.50 can signal a rally to $9,177. Okay, we'll just keep it like that. And I believe that right here, if I were to actually draw this out right here, I'm just gonna say right here that we're looking at about $10,200 target still. So that's where I believe that we're gonna get to. I don't believe that this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, and whatever. This is 5, which doesn't make sense to me if that's ABC. Okay, that could be it right there. So I don't know if it's gonna get there. We're gonna have to take a look at Fibonacci from the whole retracement wave right here. So if I did that, what we're seeing is, you know, we're seeing hesitation, guys. We're seeing some massive hesitation right here already. So it's hard to believe that we're going to continue upwards, but you know, that's the bullish view, right? The bullish view is that we break above 80, you know, 87.50 to 8,800, we'll say, okay? 8,800 signal a rally to right there. So 8,800 is around the 618.36 level, okay? 36, just as an example. Right? This is the bullish scenario, which I want to write out for you guys. Bullish scenario, right? That's the bullish scenario where we end up going all the way up there. And let's just get this so you guys can see all of this as well. Just want to make sure it's very clear. I apologize for the longer video, guys. So this is the bullish scenario right here, okay? Where we end up breaking above there. Now, how do we confirm this? So this would be the $10,000 target right here, okay? A $10,000 target right there. So this is definitely the bullish scenario. Just let me actually post this on my Steemit as well first, okay? So what I do for my Steemit is like it takes a long time, guys. I have like little template I have to copy, and I've got to paste it here, and then I gotta go through every single chart, right? And I gotta annotate all of the charts here as well, right? You know, a break above 91.77, a break above 91.77, 91.77 can signal the beginning of the next impulse wave up. Okay, so this is the bullish scenario. So then what I gotta do is, you know, I go to my Steemit here just so you guys can see kind of my day-to-day routine right here. I've got to copy, I open up my snippet right here. Okay, I open up my snippet. I gotta copy this over here. I gotta paste it to my Steemit over here. There's nothing to hide, so I'm very open with you guys, right? And I have to change my bias, and it takes a long time. So, you know, my bias is basically this, right? First of all, I copy this one right here, and I change my bias to over here, right? And then I copy what I write over here, and then I paste it over here as well. Okay, so there's a lot to do always, and it's actually it takes a lot of work. Then, you know, I type in Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, technical analysis, trading as well, and then I gotta upload the video to YouTube, right? Gotta upload the video to YouTube. Bitcoin technical analysis. I'm sorry for doing in front of you guys, but it saves me so much time. Afternoon update. Channel broken. That's pretty much it. We hit 0.5 fib resistance. That's pretty much what's going on, right? We have officially hit the channel resistance right here at the 0.5 Fibonacci level. So that's something to make note of right there. I just want to show you guys in case you don't know. This right there is the Fibonacci 0.5 fib resistance level. Okay, 0.5 fib resistance hit. So that's great if some of you guys entered a trade from, you know, very, very low. I think you guys are still doing fairly fantastic right now, I would imagine, right? Just let me copy and paste this really quickly. I appreciate you guys being patient with me. It just takes so long to do these videos, but I just want to make sure that you guys are well informed. So that's the bullish scenario, right? Now we got to look at the bearish scenario as well, okay? The bearish scenario is that we break downwards, right? The first bearish scenario is that this may not hit there. So now we're going to end up downtrending to perhaps one of these lower regions first before we uptrend, right? Now let's say that we get a scenario where there, and it actually ends up downtrending more because this is perhaps the B structure only, right? The B structure only, where this is A, B, and we get perhaps a C. So that would be a really nasty correction if we actually ended up getting it, where this is perhaps 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is now 5 down there. So the bearish scenario would be, well, let's take a retracement over here first, okay? Let's take a retracement over here. And the bearish scenario is we end up falling, you know, back down to 8,000 to 8,200 range, okay? So we can end up falling down to over here instead. Resistance just simply cannot be broken, and then we end up downtrending over here. If bullish scenario does not work out, we simply will get the bearish scenario. Fails impulse wave up, we can find solid support between the 7,000, whatever that was earlier. I'm just gonna check my steemit post here, like where the actual solid support was before. So you guys need to make sure that you're understanding these solid supports, okay? So the solid support was right around here, okay? Major resistance between here. A clear break above 8,700 can rally to 9,170. If failure occurs, we'll see support between 8,250 and 8,350 first, okay? That was basically my bias right there. But you know, like yeah, I'm gonna stick to this bias. I'm gonna pause the video. I'll be right back. Just give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so let's wrap up this technical analysis. I mean, if we don't find support here, guys, we'll find support definitely within these zones over here, okay? And I'm talking about in like around 8,250, we'll say, okay, right around this range. Where was it earlier? 8,250 to 8,350, all right? So that's gonna be a very decent support zone right over here. It's kind of hard to imagine that we're gonna actually fail these impulse waves now, but we gotta make sure that we understand that, yeah, it can definitely happen, right? It can definitely happen. Here's 8,350 just as an example. Here's 8,250 again, right? So this is a very, very reliable zone for us to consider if failure does actually occur, right? So that's gonna be awesome right there, okay? So there you guys go. That's kind of my 2 cents. I'm sorry if I was a little bit scatterbrained, okay? I apologize if I was a little bit scatterbrained, but that's kind of my bias right here. So we're finding hard resistance up here right now. Hard resistance at $9,177, right? That's a major resistance right now. We're also finding a resistance area right around here, the 8,800, okay? 8,800 to 8,750 right here, okay? So this is another major resistance zone right there. Major resistance zone between 8,730 to 8,000. Actually, we'll just say 750 to 8,800. Just basically, that's pretty much right where we are right now. Okay, guys. So yeah, and other than that, I hope you guys appreciate the video. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share the material. I apologize if it was a little bit long, but you guys know me. I try to be as thorough as I can. I hope you guys are enjoying this little bit more of a professional attitude that I have, right? The main reason for adopting a little bit more of a professional attitude is because, you know, Eric Cho, Johnny, myself, Leon, and Ched, we've got some major plans for down the road to go a little bit more mainstream, we can say. And I'll keep you guys up to date with some of our projects that we have for down the road. And no, it is not to sell you guys content, okay? It's more so plans to help people out and to perhaps attract some bigger players that would like some help in the game, right? So the people that are new to the market, the people who are just starting out in trading, nothing will change whatsoever for you guys. But what we are trying to do is there are a lot of people out there who simply want to invest in cryptocurrency and they simply don't know how to go about doing it or who to count on. So some of our goals is to attract some bigger players in the industry that have a sizable amount of capital or principal size that they might want help with. And we show our track record by our manner, first of all, our professionalism, and also based on what we know, such as the content that I'm producing on YouTube. And just to let you guys know as well, we are actually looking for one person to add to our team right now that we would like to have mentored. We added Leon to our team. If you guys don't know who Leon is, let me just show you guys. He's a very good friend of ours, and I've been communicating with him for a few months now already. He's an awesome addition to our team. Awesome guy, okay? Awesome guy. If you don't know who he is, you are welcome to follow him. He's got a few cars, we'll say. He's got too many cars. He's got a Lambo. He's got he's got a Porsche. Jeez, he's got a Ferrari. He's got a few cars, just put it that way, right? And he's a bigger player in the market, kind of like how we are, I guess, like depending on how you look at it. And we're now grooming him to become a very good trader / investor. He has access to us almost anytime we're available to ask anything he wants to, including financial advice, right? So right now we're looking to add one person for our team. I'm actually preparing the interview process already, and the application process, yes, it's going to be very thoroughly screened. You're going to go through a panel, right? Basically our panel, you're going to be interviewed. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about your knowledge, your experience in the industry, and we're charging a one-time fee of $50,000. Okay, I know that might seem absurd to some people, right? That's why if you're a newer player in the market right now, no problem. If you're not playing with a bigger amount, no problem. Nothing will change whatsoever. But if you have a fairly large amount of income or of capital that you would like to invest, and you really need help with it, well, to be quite frank, $50,000 could be almost nothing to a lot of people, right? Now, it's a one-time membership fee of $50,000, and we are only going to add one person to the team in the first 6 months, and no one else. So it's definitely going to be very competitive if you would like to join our team, where we will financially advise you. We will teach you how to do it. We will make sure that you understand risk in the market, and you will be groomed to be a very good trader. So we're basically mentoring you. And when you think about it, is $10,000, $50,000 split between 5 people. It's not a lot of money, guys. $10,000 for a whole year, or basically a lifetime of membership to get on our team. No, it's nothing to us, for example, put it that way, whether you believe or not, right? We obviously make way more than $10,000 in whatever X amount of time, so it's a lot of time on our end as well, and the cost, like you think about what we're getting paid to do it, it's nothing at all compared to what we could be doing, right? So I just want to give you guys a little bit of a taste of what is to come down the future as well. So other than that, don't take that the wrong way, guys. Like I feel like that might have come off the wrong way. It's more so just wanting us to wanting to attract some higher clientele that we can perhaps help down the road, right? So anyways, nothing will change, baby whales. Guys, nothing will change. I've got your backs. You guys have my backs. You guys are my baby whales. I'm mama whale. All the content will always be free, and I will never change what I am doing. I will never ask you guys for a single penny for all of the material that is already available. So please understand that, okay? So other than that, baby whales, have yourselves a great day. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care, and I will see you later, baby whales, mini dolphins, and tiny, tiny little penguins. Bye now.